Artist has done a lot of feature stories for Farmweek, and Farmweek loves to find a farmer or landowner who is willing to try something that's both innovative and effective. The story you're about to see aired originally 15 years ago on Farmweek in 2001. It's a bittersweet story now because Bill Thomas, its subject, died in a head-on car wreck 3 years after Farmweek visited. We called on Thomas because he was conservation-minded as far as his farming, taking care of Egypt Planting Company, his family's land south of Greenwood, Mississippi. Thomas was helping to conserve groundwater resources by recycling some of his irrigation water.
Ooh, man, this is the best one we got right here. By far the best relief situation we got.
Bill Thomas is speaking about one of the electric pumps on his farm he uses to recycle irrigation water. It's not a widespread practice in agriculture, but it's one that comes naturally to Thomas. Thomas irrigates 280 acres of Egypt plantation using what is called tailwater recovery.
I like this idea about recycling the water because we recycle, like I said, all our poly pipe. We recycle all the plastic jugs. And we recycle all of our metal that comes off the farm, and we recycle all our oil that comes off the farm. So why not recycle water?
This tailwater recovery system irrigates 80 acres. With furrow irrigation, a pipe takes well water to the uphill side of a field. The water then flows down the field between the rows. Some of the water, however, makes it out to the end of the field. This water normally flows into a drainage ditch and is used only once. With tailwater recovery, the water is collected at the end of the field. In Thomas's case, he made a collection basin by enlarging an existing drainage ditch. He installed a water control structure so the basin would fill like a pond. A pump then moves the recovered water through an underground pipe back to the high side of the field. From there, it waters the plants again. Recycling is not a new idea at Egypt Plantation. It was founded in 1835 on the banks of the Yazoo River. The Thomas family bought it in 1917. Bill's father, the late Tall Thomas, was named 1993's Mississippi Farmer of the Year. Thomas says his father and his grandfather taught him to be conservation-minded.
It excites me to see this. You know, you can see the water coming down the rows, coming into the pit, and then going back up.
You don't think about irrigating and losing that much water. You think the crop is taking it up, but you know, to irrigate you have to have a good flow down the row middle, and you know, you're going to lose a little bit.
Dale Garner has worked with Thomas as the LaFleur County District Conservationist with the Natural Resources Conservation Service of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Thomas built his tailwater recovery systems with cost-share assistance from the NRCS. The first was an 80-acre system installed in 1994. The latest, installed in 1999, irrigates 200 acres. It was built with the help of EQIP, the Environmental Quality Incentives Program. It will pay up to 75% of the cost of implementing projects which benefit the environment. EQIP is a competitive program where farmers bid how much of the project's cost they're willing to share. Projects are ranked for acceptance according to the environmental benefits achieved versus their cost.
You can sign up anytime. It's like a continuous sign up. So anytime you need something or think about it, you know, they're welcome to come into the office and sign up. You know, we just get money approved, you know, once a year, usually in the spring. But, you know, we could have you on the list, have the plan worked up, kind of estimate the cost, and as soon as money's available, then, you know, they'd be ready to sign up and hopefully be approved on it.
Cost-share conservation programs are important to farmers, particularly in times of low crop prices like the last 3 years. Conservation is not always cheap. It costs less to drill an irrigation well than to build a tailwater recovery system.
The economics is not quite there to make it economical or practical compared to drilling a well without some kind of a cost-share help.
Sometimes it's a little more expensive to do this. You know, it'd be cheaper just go put in a well. But he's looking, you know, he's going to be in farming for a long time, looking down the road. And, you know, it may cost him a little more now, even with the government cost share. But, you know, down the road, we may have to do more surface irrigation. it could get to the point where you can't just put in a new well.
While installation costs are greater for tailwater recovery systems, energy costs to run them can be cheaper. It takes less power to pump water from a surface source than a deep well. Thomas has taken advantage of natural drainage patterns to install his present 280 acres of tailwater recovery systems. He says all the easy places are gone now, and future ones will require more effort and expense.
We're conserving water, which I think long term, all farmers have got to be thinking about that irrigate. We've got to conserve our water because, 50 years from now, we may not have it if we don't start now.
Again, another great example, a story that you took, someone used research-based information and did something others can emulate.
With Bill, he had grown up on the place, but actually worked in Jackson. He was an attorney. But when his dad died, he moved back and ran the place. And he had a enthusiasm like you just wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
And that's why
that passion came across.
All those conservation things were happening on the place. And like I said, I can still remember being there and talking to him that day, and then for him, to tragically die in a car wreck about 3 years later. Farmweek is not immune from life. Those sorts of things happen. But he had a vision. He was looking out to the future,
and he really carried it out there very well.
And he did.